key elements of understandings are the size of your portfolio, what space types you have, and the geographical spread. If you have scattered locations or office locations, is different than if you have manufacturing or lab spaces where the complexity can be a bit higher. As you know, there's 33 countries in Latin America. We need to understand where is the critical mass of your presence. That will inform the local dynamics of the economy. It will also inform the presence of the suppliers, and it will be a reflection of the market maturity. Our clients are present and focused on markets with higher maturity. We're talking about Mexico, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, and to a certain degree, Argentina. The majority of our clients that are looking at Latin America choose one of two paths. One is they will bundle this region to an existing agreement in another region or globally, or they will go to the market specifically for this region. When you are bundling the Latin American region into an existing agreement, it brings you the benefit of spending less time and resources to construct a new MSA. There's an opportunity to also streamline the governance into the client side as well as into the supplier side while leveraging expertise from outside of the region. It is important to consider, however, that the IFM partner may not have enough presence in that region, and also that they may not be familiar with the type of contract or the type of initiative that you're running through. So when you're doing a standalone market initiative, you get the benefit of tailoring the objectives of the program to the specific needs of the region and enabling local stakeholders to engage and participate in a more meaningful manner. However, you will require a longer time, a more complex and more resource incentive approach to get to where you need to be. The market conditions in Latin America have some variations depending on what countries we're looking at. There's some factors of macroeconomic trends that we need to consider, as well as the ever-changing laws and legislation positions as it relates to viability of outsourcing. So in general, the Latin American market tends to lag 10 to 15 years behind their North American and European counterparts. Where we see larger economies with strong presence of multinational companies, this is where we see more maturity. What are the characteristics that we see on a more mature market is when we see resources that are more familiar with contemporary contract structures, transparent type of approaches. Also, a more mature market will have sufficient talent that is knowledgeable and understands what it takes to govern and execute these types of agreements. All of this within the context of the entire region being 10 to 15 years behind. So there will be steep learning curve irrespective of the maturity of the countries. When we talk about market conditions being immature, it also means that we need to be more diligent about the engagement of local stakeholders, put them aware of the initiative early and often, get their buy-in, because the market is dynamic and it has a lot of specific challenges in the different countries that need to be addressed. I'll give you a few examples of challenges. A recent change in law in Mexico, for example, in 2021, requires suppliers to register themselves under a specific service specializations so that they can provide services to the clients. So this means that many supplier companies have had to re-establish, rename themselves, rebrand themselves as a specialized company, or break apart different entities within that supplier in order to be able to provide services in the way that we're procuring. Another example is that if you are outsourcing facilities operations or facilities activities that you are performing with your own staff today, and you are taking this out to the market in Brazil, the local labor law does not allow an individual to be eligible for a transfer to a third party for a period of 18 months. So this needs to be discussed and understood. Taking the time to plan and define a solid set of objectives. Many times, organizations have different priorities within themselves, and they are all valid, but we need to make sure we have a comprehensive approach that balances the needs of all the areas of the business, right? So we need to have a commercial view, we need to have operational views, we need to have financial views, and how that will set the expectations with the supplier market. The understanding of the scope and the current spend in detail. You need to know what you're buying so that the supplier market can sell you what you need. Another key success factor is having a multidisciplinary team and a steering committee to ensure full awareness and enable quick decision making. We need to have representation not only from the business and the operation, but also from finance, legal, procurement, to make sure that all angles are covered. And when we bring recommendations to steering committee that has representation of those functions, they can be comfortable with the types of discussions that we've had. Over the last 5 years, we have seen a tremendous amount of activity in this region. Organizations have been looking at the region with a different lens, understanding the opportunity, and pursuing initiatives to gain value even when you have a bit of a more immature region of the world. So it's important that we understand the local dynamics, that we engage with the right people, and that we can quantify the benefits of working in this region of the world.